Coming to you live from a miserably rainy Dunning Field on Saturday afternoon here, May 29th, for the FCIAC Championship game between the number 1 seed, the New Canaan Rams, and the number 2 seed, the Darien Blue Wave. Yesterday we saw the boys lacrosse FCIAC final here between the Blue Wave and the Staples Wreckers. Darien running through Staples 15-3. As we'll bring it back up to the booth here, Ian Nicholas joined by DAF Media's Braden, Schneck, and NCTV's Chase Pickernell for this live coverage. Should be a great game, Braden. New Canaan undefeated this year, 17-0, the third best team in the nation, and they've beaten Darien twice. But they beat them twice without the sophomore star, Chloe Humphrey. So tell me a little bit about her game and how she's going to make a massive impact on this game for Coach Lisa Lindley.
Yeah, you're right, Ian. New Canaan, they took down the Blue Wave twice without Chloe Humphrey, but Chloe Humphrey is just an overall amazing lacrosse player, putting up 10 goals in this FCIAC playoff, 6 on Thursday in the FCIAC semifinal. So New Canaan, that's one player that got to scout here if they want to keep the score low and potentially win this game.
They do. New Canaan, again, defeated Darien twice this year, once in their season opener here on Dunning 7-5, and then 2 weeks later at Darien Stadium Field, they beat them in overtime 10-9. This rivalry is a great one, Chase. It's a rainy day. How do you think the rain is going to have an impact on these players? It's great that Dunning is a turf field, but what do you think, as you've probably played through the elements before?
Well, both teams are going to be facing the same conditions here, so it really comes down to hard work and discipline, and whoever comes out on top is going to be the team that shows more effort.
That they will. We are about 15 seconds away from the beginning of this game, a joint live stream between NCTV 78 and DAF Media. Thank you so much for tuning in for this one. Again, these two teams have met each other in the FCIAC Championship game a combined 9 times, as the buzzer will sound here from Dunning Field. All 9 times, Darien has taken down New Canaan. Will New Canaan win its first FCIAC championship since 1993, or will Darien win its 9th in a row for girls lacrosse? We'll turn it over to PA announcer Bill Brown to take us through the starting lineups and the national anthem. We will be right back with you in just a few moments.
Number 6, Canaan Number 9, Kate Bellissimo. Number 13, Molly McKenna. Number 16, Sadie Stafford. Number 17, Ryan Hapgood.
And we are off. National anthem plays. It's New Canaan and Darien in the FCIAC Championship game. Once again, these two teams met up in both the FCIAC and state finals in 2019. Darien got the better of New Canaan both those times. In their last 11 matchups, Darien has won 8 of them. New Canaan, the hot streak, they've won the last 2, both of them this year in this crazy COVID season. Braden, what kind of Darien team should we expect today playing in the rain? They had an excellent outing against Wilton. They just ran through of the 22nd best team in the nation. Do they have what it takes with a fully healthy team to take down New Canaan finally this year?
You know, Ian, I do think they have the talent and the skills to come out here and potentially put up a good fight against this Rams team. I think that first showing here at Dunning Field in the first game of the season, they had a lot of things going wrong for them. But Coach Lisa Lindley has shown since that game they made a lot of adjustments. That OT loss, I mean, it was just a bad break for the Blue Wave. I think this is the third time. Third time's a charm. I think they're going to come out here, put up a good fight for this New Canaan team.
Let's see. New Canaan and Darien ready for the opening draw. Looks like it will be number 20 for the Blue Wave, a junior, Maggie Ramsey. And for New Canaan, it will most likely be one of the Harden sisters, both of them heading to UNC to continue their careers. It will either be Mckenna, the senior captain, or it will be Kaylee Harden, the junior. To get this game going from Dunning Field. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you're back from yesterday's live stream, today will be a bit better quality-wise. We had some technical difficulties yesterday with some rain, but we got the cameras inside the press box today, tent secured, and we're ready to roll. It will be Mckenna Harden for the opening draw up against Maggie Ramsey in the FCIAC Championship game.
It's a big face-off. Usually the winner of this face-off gets that early momentum. It's always a good way to start off the game.
That it is. Possession so key in this sport. Time of possession, that's the formula to winning. Let's get things going here from a rainy Dunning Field. Kaylee Harden loses the ground ball, but it's going to be a violation against Darien, and New Canaan will get the opening possession of this game. Here's Kaylee Harden moving inside the 15-yard line. Harden moving it alongside the far sideline behind the cage to Trinity-bound Quinn McKiernan. McKiernan in front. The shot goes in, and the Rams will strike first. Not sure who nabbed that goal, if we got a number on it. I know Quinn McKiernan got the assist, and it looks like Dylan Patton did get that goal. And that is a great combo. We saw it in the first game, Braden. McKiernan behind the cage, and Patton with her speed with the cut.
That's something that absolutely killed the Blue Wave in that first game. That pass from X, cut up front, beating Shea Dolce at the net, and once again the Rams play that card and they score another goal off of it.
That they do. New Canaan unbeaten this year, 15-0 in the regular season, 2-0 so far in the postseason with the wins against St. Joe's and Fairfield Ludlow. They're going to win both of the opening possession of this game as Dylan Patton finds that ball in midair. Mckenna Harden has won the first 2 draw controls, doing what she does best up against Maggie Ramsey.
As we see in boys lacrosse, the face-off is a key part of possession.
Yep.
And here in girls lacrosse, New Canaan's been dominating the X with the draws, and that's what's kept them alive right now, and that's how they already have one on the board.
Kaylee Harden gets a bit of a screen from her sister Mckenna, now moving to the right. Dumps it off to USC-bound junior attack Hollis Maury, who had a team-high 4 goals in their win up against up against Fairfield Ludlow on Thursday. Here's Mckenna. McKenna moves it over to the wing. Maury is doubled instantly. Behind the cage, McKiernan in front. The shot drops. Dylan Patton continuing to dominate off that cut, Braden. 2 goals for her and 2 assists for McKiernan. And we're not even a minute and a half into this game, and the Rams are up 2-0. Let's get a second look at that one. Take us through this.
It was the same play as the first time. The pass up front, Patton beat her defender, grabbed the ball, and just put that shot to the left side of Dolce, and she couldn't pick it up. I believe that's the 3rd time Dylan Patton's had 2 goals against Darien this year.
And Chase Dolce is one of the top goaltenders in the nation. She's heading to Boston College to continue her career. That's not an easy shot on the move.
No, when the girls are running in and tight in the crease, it's if you place the ball somewhere where the goalie can't get it, I mean, it's almost impossible to stop it. So if New Canaan keeps that up, they're going to keep taking more points up on the board.
They're going to move Darien is Colette Quinn, the sophomore, to the draw, and she cannot win it as the loose ball will find the stick of Dylan Patton. That's her second straight loose ball. Wide open is Kaylee Harden. Harden moves it to McKenna. She shoots, and it is saved by Shea Dolce, her first big-time save of this rainy morning.
That's always a big one to get out of the way, that first save, especially after giving up 2 goals on the first 2 shots she's seen. So that could be a potential momentum boost for this Blue Wave team.
So for the first time all day, Darien is going to have a possession on the other side of the field. Good defense from Hollis Mulry as they continue to clear it. Here's number 13, Molly McGuckin, the junior. Defended by number 17 of New Canaan, Courtney O'Connell. A whistle is blown. A violation against New Canaan, so it will stay with the Blue Wave. Moving it behind the cage to the sophomore star, number 2, Chloe Humphrey, and she will resume play. Humphrey moves in, shoots, and misses off the crossbar. It will stay with Darien.
Humphrey had a look there, something that she absolutely killed Wilton with in that semifinal game. That kind of coming off of the whistle, putting a shot up, and her shots are just so accurate. Just a little high there, but the Darien Blue Wave will stay with the ball.
Here's number 16, Michigan-bound CC Stein. Moving to her left, spinning right, dumps it to a teammate. The ball is loose in front of a crease, and New Canaan's going to come away with it. It's senior captain Courtney O'Connell racing down the field on the clear.
New Canaan's really just out hustling Darien right now, and that's what's keeping them alive right now. Darien has to do something in order to come back.
The Blue Wave, in their third meeting with New Canaan this year, are coming out flat. McKiernan behind the cage. She's already got 2 assists. Dumps it off to a teammate who races in front of the cage, and Dolce makes the save and scoops it up off the miss from Hollis Mulry. Dolce gave up 2 goals to Patton to start this game, but now she's made 2 big saves, as that is a clear infraction against Devin Russell. A shove to the turf, and Russell, number 7, is going to head to the penalty box.
Yeah, the ref pulled out the yellow card there. Interesting. Looks like they're going to give her a 2-minute penalty on that. So
that is a crusher. So for the next 2 minutes, Darien will be man up thanks to the penalty on New Canaan star freshman Devin Russell. And that could be a big break chase for the Blue Wave offense.
Yeah, for the Blue Wave right now, they really just need to get some offensive time. If they get that offensive time and possess the ball well and move it around the perimeter and start getting some shots on New Canaan's defense, then they can start taking some points up on the board and make this game closer.
Stick check from Jade Lowe, pops the ball loose. Carolyn Barron trying to track it down for New Canaan, and a violation on Darien. New Canaan awarded possession in the middle of the field.
That is not a good way for the Blue Wave to start their man-up situation. They got to get a shot and potentially just a long offensive drive off. You can't turn it over like that.
So New Canaan already with the 2-goal lead. They're still man down for the next minute 15 as another great clear from Courtney O'Connell. Makes sure she doesn't get an over and back. Dumps it off to fellow senior Emma Shue. Shue is pushed out of bounds by 22, Nell Niffen, the senior. New Canaan still man down. Another violation against Darien. It will stay with the Rams. 50 seconds left, the penalty. Patton with great speed trying to drain this penalty clock.
And New Canaan's just going to look to pass the ball around. If they have an open look, maybe put a shot off. But for the next 30 seconds or so, they're still a man down. So they just got to kill off that time.
Yep, 30 seconds exactly left of that Devin Russell penalty as a New Canaan player is thrown to the turf near the crease. It is Hollis Mulry. And now it looks like they're going to be evened up here. Let's see what the call is. As play is stopped, Hollis Mulry, New Canaan star junior, was shoved off the ball. With 19:40 left to go here in the first half of the FCIAC championship game, New Canaan will retain possession, and now Darien is going to have a 2-minute penalty. So 2 penalties, 1 on each team. So it's evened up, and then in 10 seconds, New Canaan will be man up.
That's a big shift for this Rams team, and especially with the ball right now on offense, it could convert to another goal.
So officially, no more penalty for New Canaan. We're not sure who the penalty was on for Darien.
I believe by the looks of it, it looks like number 21, Casey Benoit.
Yes. So number 21 has the penalty for the Blue Wave. New Canaan man up for the first time all morning. They scored their first 2 goals against full defenses, and Dolce with another save. Her third of the half.
That's 3 in a row, Ian. She's catching fire here. If she can continue it for the rest of this game here so far, Darienne's got a chance to put some goals up and come back in it.
And a stick check from behind from Devin Russell, who's back in the game, and then Hollis Mulry gives the ball up across midfield. A whistle is blown, and the ball will stay with Darien.
Darien can catch a break here and try to run up the last 50 seconds of their penalty, which would be huge.
Illegal stick check from Quinn McKiernan. Trying to claw at that ball. She's had a great game so far. Just over 18 minutes left here in the opening half. Another violation. Trying to get it past midfield, number 6, Shannon Dahlquist, the senior.
If you're the Blue Wave, you're in no rush to put that ball back in play, especially with the running clock and that penalty time continuing to kill down.
Yeah, now it's down to 20 seconds, so Darien will be back to full strength then. Neither team could capitalize on their man-up opportunities. Darien playing from X. Swinging it in front of the cage now. Carolyn Barron with the defense for New Canaan. She's got a tough assignment up against Chloe Humphrey, who scored 6 goals in just her 3rd game back from a stress fracture in her back. Ball poked loose, and Mckenna Harden is going to generate the turnover. Able to get to that loose ball before it leaked off the near sideline. Here's O'Connell. A clearing machine she is, as she is going to be pushed out of bounds legally by Darien, and it's going to go right back to the Blue Wave.
The stick work has been a key factor to this game right now. Both teams making a bunch of mistakes stick work-wise, so if whichever team makes lessons down on those stick work mistakes, then they'll come up on top.
We had 2 goals in the first minute and a half from New Canaan. We have seen no scoring since, as we are just under 17 minutes left to go in the first half. Another turnover. Here comes Kaylee Harden. Harden on the break, and Darien sets up defensively. Harden wraps around. Moves it over to her senior captain sister, Mckenna Harden. Mckenna, she makes her move to her left. And the defense picks her up. As the offensive tempo for Coach Kristen Woods and her Rams slows down. New Canaan today is playing in their 14th ever FCIAC championship game. They won the first ever girls lacrosse FCIAC championship game back in 1993 up against Greenwich. They've been back to the dance 12 times. They've lost all 12 times. 3 times to Wilton, 9 times to this team. Quinn McKiernan is stripped. The ball is loose. It will roll to the sideline, and it was last touched by Hollis Mulry. It's Darien ball.
Hey, Ian, as you mentioned the stats there of New Canaan in these FCIAC championship games, yesterday actually marked the 6-year mark of the 2015 FCIAC championship and one of the greatest girls lacrosse games, I think, in the FCIAC. Triple overtime. Yeah. Mariah Mathias of Darien putting the game winner in to take it for the Blue Wave, 13-12. So I don't know if there's anything there, scheduling it on the anniversary, but...
Hey, there's so many great anniversaries in the New Canaan-Darien rivalry. You could probably find every day of the year where something happened between these two foes. Braden, timeout from veteran head coach Lisa Lindley. She is very animated in that huddle right now. Braden, what do you think a few of the words are that she's telling her team right now, down 2-0?
I think if I'm Coach Lisa Lindley here, I think she's probably telling her team, just continue what they're doing on defense, because it's worked. The last 10 minutes or so have not given up a goal. On the offense, though, they got to get more shots off. They're turning the ball over too much. They got to find a way to break this New Canaan defense, and, I mean, that's the only way they're really going to be able to get back in this game.
And you see it in her red and white New Canaan cap. Head coach Kristen Woods, now in her 15th year as the head coach of the Rams, a Wilton High graduate, former player at Penn State. She has won 6 state titles as the head coach of the New Canaan Rams. This is her 8th FCIAC championship game appearance, and she is still looking for that first win. It's been a wild year for New Canaan, Chase. They started the year on the quarantine, beat Darien in game 1 here on Dunning a little over a month ago, and what an impressive feat it is in a COVID season to be undefeated when they've played Darien twice and Wilton. They played 3 teams ranked top 25 in the nation, and they've won all 3 of those games.
Yeah, Coach Christian Woods is on fire. She has the right team, and she has the right players, and she hit a gold spark. So they've been dominating the draws, the offense, the defense, the goaltending, and if they keep it up, they're going to have themselves an FCIAC championship in a half or so, yeah.
Well, we'll see. It's a little too early to call games yet, but a great start for New Canaan nonetheless. Braden, we thought Chloe Humphrey would have a huge impact in this game, and I know it's early, but if you're New Canaan, you've got to be impressed with how well Carolyn Barron and the rest of the defense has contained a player who just had 6 goals 2 days ago.
Well, I think that's an amazing feat right there, but you got to give credit to the offense, Ian. They've had the ball for a lot of time, putting up good offensive runs. The defense, they've only really had to keep Chloe Humphrey down to 1 shot. She hasn't really had the opportunities, so I think it's just overall a great job by this entire New Canaan team to limit the shots.
A push from Hollis Mulry up against CC Stein, junior-on-junior matchup. Stein heading to Michigan in 2 years. Just over 15 minutes left to go here in the first half from Dunning Field. Ian Nicholas, Braden Schneck, Chase Pickernell joining you on this live stream between NCTV 78 and DAF Media. Behind the cage, Darien looking to get something going offensively. They move it up to Stein, defended by Shu. Now over to number 10, Sadie Stafford. Here's Vistar Humphrey. Playing off the ball, moving in, shooting and scoring for Darien is going to be Sadie Stafford. It's a freshman who gets on the board first for Darien, cuts the lead to 1 with 14:35 left to go in the first half. Braden, she just made it her mission to get to the crease there and find a good-looking shot up against Claire Mahoney.
She did indeed. I think we're going to see the replay of it here. I mean, Darien, they realized that when they're passing the ball around, this New Canaan team is not giving them any lead room. So she saw an opportunity there, took it herself, basically pulled Claire Mahoney out of the crease a little to open up that left side of the net where she placed it right into the back of the net.
Looks like we saw some confusion from the New Canaan defense there, which lets Sadie Stafford come in and get their first on the board.
She slipped past sophomore defender Ella Patterson, and that is how she gets on the board. Mckenna Harden is going to win yet another draw matched up against Colette Quinn. New Canaan has won every single draw, or they've been awarded possession on every single draw so far this game. And that's a big reason why they have the early lead, which has now been cut to 1 thanks to a goal from Sadie Stafford. Unassisted. Jade Lowe loses it over the middle. Great defensive play from Darien. CC Stein with the spin. And then she's shoved by Emma Shu. A whistle is blown, and it's New Canaan's ball just inside the 45-yard line.
Something I've noticed, Ian, so far in this game, from some of the games I've seen so far, this New Canaan defense is by far the most aggressive defense in double coveraging, putting a stick on the ball, and really knocking it out. It's been working for them so far today.
Coming from around the cage. And now moving it over to Mckenna Harden, the vocal senior captain of this team, looking to win her first ever FCIAC championship as a player. All FCIAC second team and all state first team as a sophomore in 2019. Her sister Kaylee was also all FCIAC and all state in her freshman season 2 years ago. And they'll probably be all FCIAC and all state again when those awards are announced sooner rather than later. McKenna swings it to her right to Devin Russell. Now here's Hollis Mulry, who's been held scoreless so far. Mulry dodging to her left. Gives it up to Devin Russell. Back over in front of the cage to Mckenna Harden. She's going to ISO it up. Look for the shot. Dumps it to a teammate. Stick side low. And it goes. And I believe it's Devin Russell on the receiving end of that pass from Mckenna Harden. What a move from Harden, Braden, to get a wide open Devin Russell right in front of the crease.
I mean, that was just the absolute definition of faking out the goalie. Shea Dolce thought that there was going to be a shot. I'm not sure who the first New Canaan player was, but then she passed it off to Russell, and Russell, as you said, went stick side low. Just a beautiful goal from the New Canaan Rams.
Yeah, so it's Mckenna Harden who made the move to her right, dumped it off to her left, and found Devin Russell. 3 Rams goals, now off 3 different goal scorers, or excuse me, 2 different goal scorers. 2 from Dylan Patton, 1 from Devin Russell. It's 3-1 New Canaan, 12:44 left to go in this first half. And now Kaylee Harden will be moved in for this draw. I believe it's her first of the game. Let's see if New Canaan will win yet another possession as it continues to rain hard here from Dunning. That they will. Mckenna Harden finds the loose ball as Kaylee wins that one against Colette Quinn.
5 draws, 5 wins for New Canaan, which has been a huge key factor to this game so far. And that's how you see New Canaan up on the board right now, 3-1. It's just a huge part of the possession because you get the ball off the draw, and then you can go into the offensive zone, get the shots that you need, and keep taking up points.
In front of the cage, Quinn McKiernan puts up a shot, and top shelf, it is saved by Shea Dolce. Her 4th save of the first half. She's doing everything she can right now, Braden, as she has been attacked by the New Canaan offense to keep her team in this game, and she's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, attack might even be an understatement. This New Canaan team is just putting up shot after shot. Dolce, I mean, she's trying her best out there to make some saves. I think you said she had 4 saves or something, but she's doing a good job so far.
Yep, 4 saves so far for her as Darien clears it now inside the 35. A push against Mckenna Harden. Call it against Mckenna Harden as she shoves Stein. Play resumes at the 35. Darien looking for their 2nd goal of the game. Looking to pick up the tempo offensively now behind the cage. Over to Maggie Ramsey. On the wing, it's Molly McGuckin. McGuckin moves it around. Here's Stein. A little fake out. Right back behind the cage. New Canaan stout with that interior defense. McGuckin turns around. Moves it over to Dahlquist. Gets a screen. Will not shoot off of it. Really risky pass inside. She had the look, and no foul is called. A lot of pushing and shoving. Mahoney makes the save against that Dahlquist shot. Don't know how she got her stick on that one, Dahlquist, and she was not able to get a clean look. An easy save for Claire Mahoney. Her first one of the game, as her defense has been great. Carolyn Barron, risky pass in traffic to Devin Russell. Somehow, she gains possession, gets it over to Mulry with just over 10 minutes left to go in the opening half. Mulry coming from around the cage, dumping it in front. She can't find Olivia Lockhart, but Russell finds the loose ball and keeps it with the Rams. Here's number 5, Stella Nolan, the sophomore, checking into the game. Russell behind the cage to Mulry. Now Quinn McKiernan, who's got 2 assists. McKiernan looking for the cutter. The cutter Patton. No, the cutter Lockhart. 3 times the charm. She was draped up. Here's Lockhart. Over to Russell. Great defense. Just under 9.5 minutes left to go here in the opening half. New Canaan looking to add their 4th goal in this FCIAC championship game. Looking to win their 2nd ever title game. Russell wraps around. No shot clock here in the state of Connecticut for lacrosse, so they can take all the time they need. Kaylee Harden spins to her left.
Yeah, this really seems to be a completely different defense for this Darien Blue Wave team. New Canaan, I don't think, put up a shot on this possession.
Nope.
Darien is just pressing out, and they're just locking off their players, so they have no offense. They can't move the ball around. They can't get any shots on net. So Darien's playing smart right now.
Finally giving Shea Dolce some support. Russell behind the cage. Moves it over to Mulry. New Canaan not trying to take this much time. They're trying to find the shot, so no stalling. This possession has lasted a few minutes. Mulry gets inside. Mulry, shot deflected. The rebound goes in. Quinn McKiernan off the missed shot from Mulry capitalizes, and now Quinn McKiernan has 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. Rams up 3 with just over 8 minutes left to go. A bang-bang goal there from McKiernan.
What a stat line from Quinn McKiernan. I mean, that right there, off the deflection, very heads-up play to put up another shot, and that one does fall. New Canaan's right now just doing everything right. Darien's got to stop the shots, and it's not a good showing so far for the Blue Wave.
And Chase, this is a bit of a stunner so far. The first 2 New Canaan-Darien games, they were extremely close. It's still very early. It's a manageable game for Darien, but they are getting dominated on both ends of the field right now.
It's New Canaan's draw, which is a big factor right now, and they're winning one after another after another. In fact, they haven't lost a draw yet this game.
No.
And they get more and more offensive time, and that's how they keep ticking up points. And Darien, they have to do something offensively and start getting more shots on net, or it's New Canaan just keep putting up more points.
Kaylee Harden looks to win another. She does. This time matched up against number 23, Catherine DeMark. That's the 3rd different player Darien has put in to try to win a draw control, and nobody has been able to stop the combination of Mckenna and Kaylee Harden with those draws.
That's something Darien used to be very solid out early in the season, is winning the faceoffs, putting up a quick offensive drive. And today, they haven't been able to win anything now on their 3rd draw person.
Just over 7.5 minutes left to go in the opening half. New Canaan has now scored 2 unanswered goals from Devin Russell and Quinn McKiernan. Swinging in around the perimeter. Here's Russell. Russell, one of the 2 freshmen on this varsity roster for the Rams, alongside Lexi Tully. But she definitely plays the most out of any of those 2 freshmen. She is a key contributor. Mckenna Harden with it. Remember, Darien, their only 2 losses this season were both against New Canaan. No games this year out of conference, out of state for FCIAC girls lacrosse, and no out-of-state games for FCIAC boys lacrosse either. Well, there were a few out-of-conference games, but none against the powerhouse programs that we know in the top of the rankings.
Which that's something that's really got to hurt these programs, seeing that top competition from schools like St. Anthony's and Manhasset down in New York. But they did get some out-of-conference games, and I think Greenwich Academy was on Darien's schedule. Glastonbury ended up on New Canaan's. So they did try to get some in-state upper competition, but nothing tops those out-of-state teams.
Mckenna Harden moves inside. The defense collapses on her, and she retreats. Moving it over to Mulry. New Canaan currently ranked as the 3rd best team in the nation according to the latest U.S. Nike lacrosse poll, or Nike U.S. lacrosse poll. Kaylee Harden, the top shelf look will not drop. Another brilliant deflection from Shea Dolce. That's her 5th save of the game on a clean-looking shot from Kaylee Harden.
Yeah, that was another wide open opportunity I shouldn't say wide open, but open opportunity for this Rams team. And Dolce made the save this time. Was trying to go a little high, but Dolce used the stick, just knocked it out.
Dolce, she's doing everything she can, Chase.
New Canaan's offense has to keep putting shots low. I think 3 of her 4 goals have been on the low side of Dolce, which if we keep up, then we should put more points up. But these high shots Dolce has been getting left and right, so got to fix that.
Off the pick, coming from around the cage. No shot to take from Mulry. Moving it over to Patton, who had the first 2 goals of this game for New Canaan. She had 4 goals on Thursday. Could she get 3 today? Yes! Number 3 with the hat trick. Dylan Patton, pure speed right in front of the cage. Nothing you can do about that one. Rams up 5-1 with just under 5 minutes left to go in the opening half.
I mean, just Dylan Patton once again striking against the Blue Wave. This time going high, as you mentioned, Chase. I think that's the first time they've beaten Shea Dolce on the high side. So anything can happen for this New Canaan team, as that's another one for Dylan Patton.
Chase, take us through this replay in a moment.
Dylan Patton comes, beats her defenders, and she comes, fakes low, goes high.
Wow.
Right off the head of Dolce. You got to go low or you fake high, shoot low, fake low, shoot high. You got to do something to trick out these goalies these days. They're too skilled.
They're too good. She's one of the top flight goalies in the nation. She's given up now 5 goals. She's got 5 saves. Pretty much every single shot from New Canaan has been on target. They are taking great looks. So do not blame this one on Dolce, as she is doing everything she can. New Canaan, though, is just dominating.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is anyone's fault on the Darien side. I mean, it's really just New Canaan outpowering Darien as a team. I mean, they truly are the better team so far in this one.
Kaylee Harden matched up with Catherine DeMarc. Violation, and they are going to redo the draw. New Canaan has yet to lose a draw all half, and we're over 20 minutes into this game. Rams with a 4-goal lead, looking to win their first FCIAC title since 1993. And finally, Darien wins a draw thanks to their third different draw specialist, Catherine DeMarc, the sophomore. Can Darien make something happen?
You know, DeMarc won that faceoff twice, technically. The first time they won it, they just called it back due to the violation. But she won. She beat the Rams on that one.
And this looks like a golden opportunity for Darien. An illegal stick check from behind from New Canaan. Moving in was Chloe Humphrey. And the first free position shot for either team today will come from the sophomore megastar, number 2. Humphrey shoots and cannot rip it in. Carolyn Barron is gonna get the ball, maybe not. 2 Blue Wave players swarm to her. Darien takes over. Hapgood. Bad pass. It sails over the line, and it sails into New Canaan possession.
I think it was interesting on that free possession. Humphrey kind of knew that if she made any more steps in, that New Canaan defense was going to crash in on her and play that same hard, airtight defense they have all game. So she stepped up, rifled the shot, just a little wide, but a golden opportunity missed for the Blue Wave.
And what a shot maker she is. Even though she didn't make that, you rarely see a player on the girls' side of things not try to immediately take that to the cage. She has the power with that stick to rip shots in at a high velocity. She shoots like few girls can right now in the FCIAC.
That is true, Ian. I mean, she had the opportunity. I think she had a look at a shot. It maybe just came off her stick wrong, or she slipped or something. But something went wrong there, and it didn't convert into a Darien goal.
Again, Humphrey is the top player ranked nationally at the high school level for the class of 2023. This is only her 4th game back this year. This is her first year on varsity, remember, because no year last year due to COVID. And she has scored 10 goals this postseason. None today. Coach Kristen Woods has had the game plan to eliminate her abilities. Maybe they were hoping just to limit her, but she has been eliminated to this point. Kaylee Harden playing from X. Finds her teammate Stella Nolan. 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Mckenna Harden over to Quinn McKiernan. And now Devin Russell. Russell behind the crease. Slowing up the tempo. Rams with a comfy 4-goal lead. Looking to add one more before we head to a halftime break. Mckenna Harden moves. A little back and forth. Tries to get inside. Darien's defense is starting to tighten up, but the Rams are showing no signs of forcing anything. Here's Hollis Mulry. Defended by number 21, Casey Benoit, the sophomore. Mulry with a nice spin. And a yellow card is thrown, or at least waved. Let's see who this is against. It doesn't look like any player is going to leave the field, so not a major foul on Darien defensively. Play will resume from Hollis Mulry. With a minute 33 left to go in the first half. New Canaan now with 3 unanswered goals. Looking for number 4. Can Devin Russell get it? No! It's scooped up on the ground by Shea Dolce, her 6th save of this one.
That's something Devin Russell's really been doing well all season, as she tried right there to go to her left side. I believe she is a natural right-handed player, but she can really go from both sides. And Dolce made the nice save, though.
You've seen that twice today. She splits from her right to her left and runs right through the center towards Shea Dolce as she switches to her left hand and tries to put a bottom left corner, which she got once today, but the second time Shea took it away.
That she did. Moving it up over the middle of the field. Darien clears it. They could really use a goal right now. Braden, and as soon as I say that, Mckenna Harden forces it. Kaylee Harden forces a turnover, excuse me. Number 6. She runs into trouble. She falls on her back. That is a clear foul on Darien. A yellow card is thrown, and CC Stein, number 16, is going to head to the box. New Canaan is going to be man up for the remainder of this half. As you can see, Kaylee Harden, the recipient of the tough blow from CC Stein.
I'm not sure if it can get much worse than that, coming down on the offense, turning it over, then having one of your top offensive players in CC Stein going to the penalty box. That's not a good past couple seconds for the Blue Wave.
Actually, my apologies. It was not on 16 Stein. It was on 15 Lily Tarrant. Caught in front of the cage, and a goal for New Canaan. McKiernan, the Patton, the third connection between those two today. Patton's 4th goal overall. New Canaan up 5. The Cornell-bound Dylan Patton will not be denied.
I mean, that's something the Blue Wave just has not been able to stop today. 4 goals from Dylan Patton. It's just been a lethal combo, and it's something the Blue Wave has to stop if they want to fight back into this.
Great replays we've had all game. That one finishing in the bottom right corner of the cage. You mentioned it, Chase. You've got to go low, especially when you're cutting like that. That's an unstoppable shot.
Exactly. If you're that close into the crease and you're there and you're shooting high, Shea's going to get that 9 times out of 10. But if you go low, she's not quick enough to get down there and stop that ball. So there we go. We have 5 out of our 6 goals today have all been low.
What a great duo Quinn McKiernan and Dylan Patton have turned out to be this year. It's almost like it's the same play on a loop. It's the cut from the left side of the cage, and McKiernan always finds her, and it's just unstoppable. New Canaan wins another draw as Devin Russell finds the loose ball. And remember, the Rams are still man up for the next minute and a half. If we can pull that graphic up, there's still a penalty. So they could score again. And they will have the ball to start the second half, too, because of the penalty. What a game for New Canaan. 6 seconds. Kaylee Harden looking for the shot in front of the cage, looking for her sister Mckenna. She couldn't find her. New Canaan has a dominant 6-1 lead at the half. They've won all but one draw. They're shooting lights out. Braden, this is not the third volume of this rivalry we expected right now.
It is not. I mean, as you were saying, Ian, that same play of that cut from the left up to Dylan Patton just has been killing the Blue Wave today. Coach Lisa Lindley has to cut down on that if they want to stay in this game.
That they do. Chase, look, I mean, I wish we could prescribe a different solution of this problem for Darien, but there's just so many things that New Canaan is doing right. They're winning draws. They're taking clean shots. They're finding open teammates. What are your thoughts from the opening half and what Darien needs to pick up in order to win this game? They're down 5 goals, which is not game over by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not good right now for Coach Lisa Lindley.
Yeah, Darien gets the ball in their offensive zone, and what they do is they rush it, and they turn it over within the first 30 seconds they have the possession. They have to control the ball, take their time, and if they do that, then they can get more shots on net and score more goals. So if Darien keeps that up, then New Canaan's going to keep finding their way to more goals, and then the game will be over by then.
Well, let's see how the second half shakes up as we'll bring it back to the field here from Dunning Field. It's been raining throughout the game. Really not a pretty game. We do have a highlight package, though, so it hasn't been pretty for Darien fans, and you might want to look away here because we're going to go through the first half highlights, and right now it's really been one-sided, guys. Bring us through the tail of the tape.
Well, these are the 2 early goals from Dylan Patton within the first minute of the game. Just a great way to start from New Canaan. Actually, it was a save from Dolce, but just Darien got off on the wrong foot. And just besides the Sadie Stafford goal, their offense has just been struggling today.
Yep, it's really been a dominant first half here. We saw Mckenna Harden drawing the entire attention of the defense.
To the bottom left-hand corner, like we said, keep these shots low.
Quinn McKiernan, she's been great today, but so say Shea Dolce. Quinn McKiernan did have a goal off a rebound opportunity. It's actually going to be right here. There you go. Everyone's collapsed. No one's paying attention to Quinn McKiernan. Kaylee Harden put up a wild shot on the move, and then Dylan Patton just doing what she does best, and just right over the head of Shea Dolce. Can you get more accurate than that? Probably not. Claire Mahoney, she was in that clip. She hasn't been called out a lot today because her defense has been spectacular.
Yeah, defense has really been amazing for this Rams team. As we keep mentioning Chloe Humphrey, you got to give credit to Jade Lau, her defender, keeping a stick on her all times, really playing airtight defense, not letting Humphrey get any shots up.
Yep, Jade Lau, a junior, also a hockey star for New Canaan. She is a player who is not getting a lot of attention right now on our broadcast because she's doing her job. She's keeping Chloe Humphrey quiet, and that's why we're not talking about Jade Lau a lot. It's shocking right now from New Canaan High School. The Rams, 17-0, not 16-0, looking to stay undefeated, pick up win number 18, and win their first FCIAC championship game since 1993. Darien, which has won 8 straight title games, is on the verge of that streak losing if they don't pick it up in the second half. It's 6-1 New Canaan. Before we head to the break, let's get a look at our sponsors. I want to thank our 2 platinum sponsors, Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. I want to thank our 1 gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, for breakfast, lunch, and catering at 107 Cherry Street right here in town. I want to thank our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, and Rand Insurance. And finally, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Chihuahua, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Your score at the break, New Canaan up 5 in the FCIAC Championship game. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the second half of New Canaan Darien. Back from the second half here from Dunning Field, as we'll take that halftime graphic down because we are here now for the start of the third quarter. Ian Nicholas, Braden Shank, I shanked Shank, sorry, and Chase Pickernell bringing you the call of this one. New Canaan is still man up, so we'll bring that up in a second. They're still man up for the next minute 10. Darien, though, is going to win the opening possession of the second half, which is so key. An illegal stick check from New Canaan, so play will continue. Wide open path to the goal, looking for the pass, shooting off the ground, and that is going to be a violation on New Canaan. So that's going to be a free position shot as the yellow card comes out. A Darien player is going to go to the sideline. So it's against Darien. No, wait. Let's see what the ruling is here. Is it New Canaan's ball?
I'm not sure what just happened there, but it looks like New Canaan has the ball.
And Darien is now going to be double man down. Number 13 was called for the foul, Molly McGuckin. So New Canaan now is two man up. Was that a charge maybe? That might have been the call up against McGuckin.
I have no clue what just happened there. McGuckin fell to the ground and somehow finds herself in the penalty box.
This is just absolutely brutal for Darien, who already has CC Stein in the penalty box. Play will resume. It's still New Canaan's ball. So the penalty on your screen is the one of CC Stein. And then we'll try to pull up the fact that McGuckin is now in the box for a minute 20. The clock, there's a bit of a malfunction here as the refs are talking over the call. The clock is continuing to run. So they're going to probably want the scoreboard to be reset to the right time, and they're probably going to want the man-up penalty reset to the correct time as well. So there we go. Our wonderful producer, Emily Fox, pulls up what's on the scoreboard right now. The double man-up for New Canaan. Coming out of the half not the way they wanted to. Darien had a great-looking shot, and I believe a charge was called against McGuckin for burying herself into a New Canaan defender, and I believe that's what the call was.
Yeah, Darien had such a good start to open this half. The face-off win. Now Miffin with the ball fighting through a defender. Gets it to McGuckin. I'm not really sure what happened there. I think a charge maybe.
Yeah.
She's in the penalty box for the next minute 16, and now the Rams have the ball two-man up.
So Stein is in the box for 11 seconds. So New Canaan will be two-man up for 11 seconds, and then after that, they'll be just man up for a minute 5. Mckenna Harden on the wing to Kaylee, and that's a shooting space violation. So 2 men up, Kaylee Harden practically has a free track to the goal. Kaylee Harden will shoot, and it is deflected by Dolce. What a save from her.
That was a huge save right there. Lost the ball for a second, but covered it up. And now Darien just 1 man down.
CC Stein will come back in as Dolce rolls it to nobody, but I guess smartly, as she gets it out of there. But wait, there's trouble in the middle of the field. Dylan Patton has the ball for New Canaan, causing the turnover. The Rams are still man up for 30 seconds, thanks to the foul on McGuckin on the other end of the field. Dylan Patton dumps it to Kaylee Harden. Harden couldn't find the shot. And a whistle is blown. Violation's going to be called against Darien. Let's see what the call is here. Kaylee Harden will keep it. It doesn't look like another player is subbing out for Darien, though, which is the good news. New Canaan still man up for 15 seconds. They were 2 men up just a moment ago. They couldn't capitalize there. Mckenna Harden now Mckenna Harden has it. To Quinn McKiernan, who bobbles the ball and loses it. And they're going to get it back to Shea Dolce. And then they get it to the wrong team. Here's Mulry, the breakaway. It goes in. Dolce, the errant pass. Mulry picks it off and scores first second goal of the game. New Canaan goes up 7-1. 22:39 left to go in the second half. Darien was 2 men down. Dolce was brilliant. They survived the man down, Braden. And then, of course, they just throw the ball over just as they had completed a brilliant defensive possession.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. They get the stop, flip it off to Dolce. Dolce tries to pass it out of the attacking zone of Mckenna, but intercepted by Mulray. Takes it right back in. No defender within sight. Puts the shot up, top corner.
Ugh. That's just a heartbreaker.
So many mental errors on the defensive side of things from Darien, which you have to change. Another draw win for New Canaan.
Comes from Kaylee Harden. She's been doing it all game long. Her and her sister Mckenna dominating with the draw controls. Darien's only won 2 draws all game. Kaylee Harden spins around. New Canaan has now scored 5 unanswered goals since it was 2-1. Devin Russell comes from around the crease. Finds Mckenna Harden. She was whacked a little bit, and the ref saw it too. That's a check to the face on number 9, Kate Bellissimo. And New Canaan's going to be man up again. Everything is just falling apart right now for Darien, and I don't want to sound biased, but Braden, you're from Darien, and I think you can agree.
Yeah, these calls, I mean, they are the right calls here. I just think that there's so many going against the Blue Wave.
They are.
I don't think New Canaan's had a penalty all game called, or they've had one.
One.
But that's unfortunate, especially losing that senior leadership in Kate Bellissimo. Darien, I mean, they got a huge patch to fill here for the next 2 minutes.
So New Canaan is man up for 2 minutes. Mckenna Harden, instead of taking the shot herself, will get it out to Dylan Patton to try to find the perfect look and try to put them up 7. Mckenna Harden in front of the cage at the 25-yard line. Alice Mulray. Russell on the wing. McKiernan again is going to mishandle one. The rain could be becoming a factor here. It's been downpouring since nighttime. Really, it's been downpouring since the end of the FCIAC Boys Championship game yesterday.
It was even raining through that game. I would say a little before that game it started raining.
Yeah, it's just been horrible, Braden. Dunning has never been wetter. Devin Russell gets inside, saved on the ground. The ball is loose, and it's Darien's ball. Dolce makes another great play. Chase, she's been trying her hardest all game. She's doing a good job. Outside of that bad pass that went right to Mulray, she's been the lone bright spot for Darien today.
She has. She's been standing on her head, and she's been doing everything she can as a goalie to defend the New Canaan's offense. But the defense on the Darien side of things have been struggling all game long. And if Dolce wasn't here, this game would be a much bigger stretch than 7-1.
That's a foul on New Canaan. Maggie Bellissimo picked the ball back up.
Darien still man down for 15 seconds, waiting to get Kate Bellissimo back in the game. Darien looking for a card, but they will just keep the ball, and all the New Canaan players will stay in the game. Still plenty of time left for Darien to mount a comeback. 6 goals. That's the deficit right now, with over 20 minutes left. In this game, no player looks like they'll sub out for New Canaan. A turnover for Darien. Or unless it was a foul on Darien and it caused a turnover. It looks like Darien was called for a foul, and it was enough of an infraction that the ball was awarded to New Canaan. And
more confusion again.
More confusion. I'd agree with you, Braden. I don't know where that call came from, and the whistles have been blowing one direction today, but New Canaan is still dominating on the draws, and I believe most, if not all, of their goals were scored with no penalty. So
I think that's true there.
Darien is caught in a bad break, but New Canaan, they've been playing great, just like they have all season. That's a shooting space violation, as it looks like Mckenna Harden is going to gear up for a free position. Another call against Darien. Harden looking for her first goal of the morning. Are we still in the morning? That we are. It's 11:30. Harden's going to shoot, and she misses. Deflected away. Darien gets the loose ball. Weaving through traffic, number 18, Emily Darby, the junior. Darby locked up by foul number 18, Hollis Mulry, before giving it up. And Darien will clear it. They have yet to have a legitimate offensive possession in this second half. Here's Ryan Hapgood, one of this team's stars. Hapgood in transition. She will shoot. Six-side low. And finally, something breaks for the Blue Wave. Ryan Hapgood goes coast to coast back to a 5-goal game with 18 and a half left to go in the second half.
That is just a beautiful play from Ryan Hapgood. Drives it into the crease, puts the shot up, and another goal from Darien where they're not passing the ball. They have the player run it in, really kind of break the crease there, and just a beautiful goal from Ryan Hapgood.
Runs past all the defenders, and there we go, another low shot. Those low shots have been working well today as the turf is wet, and you never know where that ball's going to bounce.
Yep, every field has different bounce, and today with the rain coming down hard, definitely an element. Claire Mahoney gives up her second goal of the game. We haven't called her name much. The Brown committed junior, one of the top goalies in the nation, just like Dolce. Darien's going to make a substitution for this draw. Kaylee Harden is going to have a different matchup this time around. Up in the air. And Dylan Patton comes away with it. Harden's going to win that one up against Chloe Humphrey. They moved Humphrey in for that draw, trying to utilize their sophomore star wherever they can, and she cannot get the better of Kaylee Harden.
Yeah, the face-off have just been killing the Blue Wave today. New Canaan has had so many opportunities today just because they're winning the simple draws. I mean, that's really been a big factor in this one, potentially a deciding factor in this 5-goal deficit.
Simple, yet oh so important. And it's just like that. New Canaan is dominated. Dylan Patton's dominated, but so is Shea Dolce with the key deflection. But it's a violation against Darien. No, it's a violation against New Canaan. I believe that might have been a crease violation against Patton. She might have moved too far in. And possession awarded to the Blue Wave as Chloe Humphrey is doubled and now tripled as she tries to turn it up the field. That is a clear penalty up against New Canaan. Humphrey is still bracketed alongside the near sideline.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about girls lacrosse there. When a foul is called, the player that commits the foul moves behind the defender. But in a situation like that, the two other players can still be right in front of Chloe Humphrey.
Yep.
And she's still, as you mentioned, bracketed in despite the foul.
Yep, the foul was on Mckenna Harden, who moved behind her. Whistles are blown. Looks like they're just going to position everyone in a different spot. It's still going to be Darien ball. A lot of screaming from that Darien sideline, trying to bring the energy back into this game. You can see the woman screaming from the sideline. It's legendary head coach Lisa Lindley trying to re-energize her team and motivate them with this 5-goal deficit. Lindley, one of the greatest lacrosse coaches of all time at the girls' level. Moving inside, that shot ripped in! Darien gets another one from Ryan Hapgood. 2 second-half goals for the sophomore have pulled the Blue Wave to within 4.
Ryan Hapgood, just an unbelievable sophomore. Once again, taking it herself inside the crease, going low, beats Claire Mahoney. I mean, Ryan Hapgood is bringing the Blue Wave right back into this game, and it is not over yet.
It is not. Plenty of time left. Hapgood with great speed and then right between the legs of Claire Mahoney. Hapgood moving from left to right. Head coach Kristen Woods is going to call a timeout. The momentum now with Darien after back-to-back goals chase do you think the tone in that huddle is still intense? It looks to be from the movements and the motions of head coach Lisa Lindsley.
Not just in the huddle, but on the bleachers, the Darien bomb squad is going bananas. They're creating chants and everything, man. And that's all coming from the offense, the Darien side of things. They've got the possession, and they've been getting shots on goal, and that's how they had 2 goals in the past 2 minutes.
And there's head coach Kristen Woods, now in her 8th FCIAC championship game as a head coach of the New Canaan Rams. She is 0-7 in the title game. Looking to win her first. Her team has a 4-goal lead. This game has looked over at points, but it is definitely, as Braden said, not over. After 2 back-to-back goals from Ryan Hapgood. Lacrosse is definitely not an individual sport. But right now, Darien has been fueled by Hapgood on the offensive end, and her alone with 2 unassisted goals.
She has indeed, but as you mentioned, it is a team sport. Shea Dolce on the defensive side really making the saves, giving the offense opportunities, and just really the sport of lacrosse is all about runs. Darien has the momentum. If they could continue this just for a couple more minutes, putting up maybe 1, 2, even a couple more goals, this game's only a 1-goal game then, if they can put a couple more up.
That's a lot to ask, and it really is all going to come down to who wins the draws. It's been New Canaan all game long. It's going to be Kaylee Harden matched up with Chloe Humphrey again. Again, Humphrey, the star sophomore, only playing in her 4th ever varsity game after a stress fracture, had sidelined her for the majority of the season, including both of the previous New Canaan and Darien games this year. Kaylee Harden comes away with another, then she loses it, and it finds the stick of number 22, Nell Niffen. What a loose ball for Nell Niffen to find. Darien looking to put something together. Here's Chloe Humphrey. Humphrey's been held scoreless. They move it over to the wing. Here's CC Stein. Stein gets a bit of a screen. Dumps it off, coming from behind the cage. Humphrey couldn't get it. Humphrey was looking for that shot. She couldn't put her stick on it. The ball will roll to the sideline. And that is a clear foul on Courtney O'Connell as she will trip up number 18, Emily Darby. O'Connell is not going to be sent to the box, though. It's going to be called just a trip.
Actually, I believe that was CC Stein, number 16.
CC Stein. Hey, tough to see those blue numbers on these black jerseys in this kind of weather. CC Stein had a penalty that sent her to the box at the end of the first half, the Michigan-bound junior. There's over 15 minutes left to go here. In the second half, Darien, 2 unanswered goals, both from Ryan Hapgood. Here she is again. Emma Shue with her stick out in front. Stein, defended by Kaylee Harden. A rainy day from Dunning, which is the neutral site for this game. But New Canaan, the home team, essentially, as they are the higher seed, and this is their home arena. And they got lucky getting to play the FCIAC title game here on Dunning. Ball loose in front of the cage, and it finds its way in! Darien's going to get another goal! A ruckus in front of the cage, and they find the bottom right corner.
Unbelievable. A missed pass there, picked up. I'm not sure who picked it up, but someone picked it up, threw up a goal. Just a beautiful, unbelievable play from the Blue
Wave. We're still not sure who even got that goal. We'll go to a replay to try to decipher. That one came out of nowhere.
It's almost like the Darien sideline is listening to us.
It's almost
Shots
like
low.
Shots low.
And that's what they're doing, and that's how they scored this goal.
It looks like it was Humphrey who lost it, and then 12 who flipped it in. Lauren Blatney, off a bit of a rebound, gets the goal.
It's 13.
13.
Molly McGuckin.
Molly McGuckin. So close. One off. So McGuckin, yes, the PA announcer, Bill Brown, does confirm that it was 13. Molly McGuckin who scored her first of the game. Now Darien has scored 3 unanswered here in the second half. And we're back to a legit ball game in the FCIAC Championship.
I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but someone's got to submit that to Sports Center there. That was a great play. And to put this down to a 3-goal deficit.
This game can go either way at this point, Braden.
Anything can happen now.
Yes.
Well, right now, New Canaan has the possession. A violation on Darien trying to scoop up the loose ball. And a big possession for the Rams right now to try to extend their lead, which Darien is chipping away at.
New Canaan came out hot in the second half with, I think, 3 penalties on the Darien side of things.
Yep.
And since then, Darien's been taking possession with the offensive zone, and they've had 3 goals ever since.
Jade Lowe turns it over on the far sideline. And then Darien returns the favor, giving it right back to Hollis Mulry. Mulry flips it back to O'Connell. O'Connell racing to her right. Carolyn Barron left wide open, and she'll help clear it up to Russell. Russell gets the screen from Quinn McKiernan, and now will slow it down behind the cage. A critical offensive possession for New Canaan. Hollis Mulry. And that's going to be a penalty on number 17, Ryan Hapgood, who was whacking Mulry a little bit too much. Mckenna Harden misplaces that one and then finds it quickly. Defended closely by number 27, the freshman star Maggie Bellissimo. McKenna gives a screen for her sister Kaylee. Kaylee with a little fake. Russell on the wing brings it now behind the cage. And now over to the near sideline. Mckenna Harden moving to her right. Hollis Mulry, good move! Saved by Dolce. Rebound too high, Dylan Patton. And it will go to Darien. That defense is really starting to tighten up around Dolce right now. But Mulry had a really good opportunity, and Dolce was right out in front where she needed to be.
Yeah, this game, I mean, it's still 12 minutes left. New Canaan's got to be shooting the ball, looking for more insurance goals. 7-4. It's Darien. Oh, yeah, Darien. They're still in this here. They just got to put a goal up here on this possession.
They need to continue to ride their momentum wave. 3 unanswered goals, 2 from Ryan Hapgood. The last one, a nutty one from Molly McGuckin. Just over 11 and a half minutes into this game, left in this game. Darien moving it from X, bringing it around into the left. Taking their time with 11:15 left to go in the second half of the FCIAC Championship game. Kaylee Harden defending CC Stein at a distance. Stein moves right. A lot of off-ball movement for Darien. A player trips on the wet turf. Here's number 22, Nell Niffen. Niffen moves it over. Mckenna Harden with the defense. A miscommunication behind the cage. Claire Mahoney, the ball is loose. And Mahoney finds it. 2 Darien players could have had the ball and none of them got it.
That's something that, I mean, I could have called that from a mile away. That is what was going to kill the Blue Wave right there, turning it over on the passing game. I mean, they did it right there. They almost had a chance when Mahoney was trying to find it, but now they got to force another turnover from the Rams.
Well, Courtney O'Connell's not going to make it easy for him as she goes right up the gut of the defense and clears it. And it's finally shoved out of bounds. It will be New Canaan's ball. Just didn't look like there was enough urgency on that possession from Darien Chase. They really were just moving too slowly, and it got the worst of them.
With only 10 minutes left in the game, they have to be working the ball around well in order to get the shots on net. And these offensive errors with the passing and stuff, that can't happen this late in the game.
No.
That's going to cost them the game. So if they keep making these errors, then New Canaan is going to find their way up on top.
9:40 left to go. New Canaan holding on it with 3-goal lead, which has been starting to slip. Kaylee Harden defended by Nell Niffen. Still guarded by her. Kaylee looking for an open teammate. Instead, her sister Mckenna gives her a screen, and Stein is switched onto her. Patton, great speed, like always. Running away from the younger Bellissimo. You can tell New Canaan's trying to chew up some clock here, but still show that they have some intention of scoring. Trying to play keep away. Mulry. Now Patton. Patton gets doubled. Leaves Mulry open for a moment. Wide open is Stella Nolan. Nolan is absolutely wide open, and Quinn McKiernan mishandled that one and couldn't find her. The defense is just really trying to get the ball right now. Devin Russell moves inside. The defense collapsed. Russell is pushed. It is still New Canaan ball. Braden, you can tell. Darien is sending multiple players at one New Canaan player. They're trying to get the ball right now. Devin Russell, though, is now going to get a free position because of the over-aggressiveness of Darien.
They have to be aggressive, Ian. With 8 minutes left and needing 3 goals, they got to find a way to get the ball.
Can Russell tally her second of the game? Nope. Off the free position. She plays it back. Quinn McKiernan is not going to take any chances with the ball. New Canaan knows what's at stake. Patton tries to find the cutter. The risky pass is picked off by the goalie. Shea Dolce, not Shea Hobbs. Shea Dolce is spinning. She's out of position. There's no one in net for Darien. And CC Stein, thank the Lord for Darien, finds the loose ball. Now in transition.
Wow, what a play by Dolce to intercept that pass and get the Darien offense back in possession and running.
Even she knows they need to move it up fast.
Oh, yeah.
That is one gutsy call from Dolce there, coming out of her crease, intercepting the ball, and then having the guts to run up to center field with it and pass it out to her offense.
Darien needs to score quick. Will they? No. CC Stein puts up the shot that misses. Wide left. It will stay with Darien. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in on DAF Media, NCTV 78, we appreciate your viewership. We hope you like and subscribe. Trying to find the cutter. The pass misses her left, and that's a Darien turnover. Bad pass looking for number 25, Kata Vidable, the sophomore. And another blown opportunity offensively for the Blue Wave after they scored 3 unanswered.
Yeah, those turnovers have just killed Darien today. Another one there.
Kaylee Harden a bit slow to get up, and she is a bit shaken up. She's okay. Maybe not. That's definitely going to be a penalty on New Canaan, or a penalty on Darien, excuse me. Kaylee Harden is going to limp to the sideline. Hopefully she'll be all right, walking off under her own power. Wish her nothing but the best. One of New Canaan's brightest stars. She's been dominating with the draws today as lower body injury for her. But New Canaan will play on. 6 minutes left in this game. Darien clawing, fighting to stay alive. Courtney O'Connell looks to clear. Stella Nolan now in the game. Running it down the far sideline. Whistle is blown. And Nolan will pick it up at the 20.
It's only 5 minutes and 30 seconds left here, Ian. Do you think New Canaan's going to try and run out the clock?
I think they've been trying to run out the clock for the last 5 minutes, to be honest with you, Chase. They have really not shown too much intention of scoring, but they've done a great job of moving the ball around nicely, showing that they have some intention of scoring and not getting any stalling warnings or calls against them. So I think that they have a comfortable lead. Darien has cooled off offensively. And if there's a wide open goal, I think they'll take it. But they're not going to take any unnecessary risks. Will they take the shot here? Lexi Tolley, the freshman in the game, making up for the loss of Kaylee Harden, who is getting treated on the bench. Mckenna Harden back over to Dylan Patton. 5 minutes left in this game. Patton defended by number 9, Kate Bellissimo. Mckenna Harden, stick check from behind from Chloe Humphrey, nearly generates for Darien turnover. And then on her way to the goal, Hollis Mulry was grabbed, and that is a penalty on Darien.
Yeah, just with under 5 minutes left here, New Canaan, no sense of urgency.
Nope.
This is the reason here that the across in the state of Connecticut should be adapting at shot clock, giving the defense in the situation a chance to come back. Because New Canaan, they could run this clock out with 4 minutes by passing it around, running around. It happened in the boys' championship there at Richfield a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Richfield just held the ball for 30 minutes straight and beat the Blue Wave.
Yep, Coach Roy Colsey up there at Richfield. He's a great coach, and you can't blame him. That's the rule. And the great coaches and the great programs, they're going to
take advantage of it.
They'll take advantage of it until it is changed. It's still downpouring here from Dunning. And in all the clouds and in all the muck, New Canaan looks to win their first FCIAC title since 1993 and their first ever under 15th year coach. There's no one in the goal. The first under 15th year coach, Kristen Woods. Dolce came out of a goal trying to pick off the pass. Luckily, she's back there. That could have been doomsday.
That's what we've been seeing with the last 4 minutes of the game here. They're trying to get a double team on New Canaan's offensive players so they can pressure the ball and get the ball back on their offensive side with only 3 minutes left, down to 3.
Lexi Tolley, the attention is swarming towards the freshman. And that is going to be a violation on Darien. No, excuse me, that's what I thought it was. It's going to be a timeout from Coach Kristen Woods. She knew her freshman was in trouble. She's right in front of her on the sideline. And she's going to gather her team up for the next 3 minutes and 8 seconds. They need to hold the lead. They're in a good spot right now, Braden. They're moving the ball around really well. Unlike Darien, who when they were trying to get in a rhythm offensively, they forced a couple of tough passes, and New Canaan needs to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I think for Darien right now, Coach Lisa Lindley, I mean, I don't even think she's going to address the offense because right now, all that matters for the Blue Wave is intercepting the ball, getting it, and just getting an offensive opportunity. Because I think as just shown there by Coach Kristen Woods, New Canaan's not really going to shoot the ball. When I think Hollis Murray had that open look against a defender playing goalie, I think they're just going to try to pass it around, so Darien's going to have to get a little bit more aggressive, maybe double team, knock the ball out of his stick, get the ball, and try to drive it downfield.
And Chase, any thoughts for you and what Darien should do here to try to get the ball back and strike quickly with only 3 minutes, 8 seconds left on the clock and a 3-goal deficit?
I think they should keep doing what they've been doing and taking Shea Dolce out of the net and double teaming the ball in order to get the ball back on their offensive side of things. And if you keep the pressure up and you stay aggressive, that's all it's going to take.
You hear Bill Brown on the mic, the PA announcer. The award will be handed to one team. Right now, New Canaan is in a terrific spot. I remind you, they have been to the FCIAC championship game 13 times. They are on a 12-game losing streak when they go to the championship game. This would be some history to finally knock down the Blue Wave in the title game. Darien's a very talented team. They can score in a hurry. It's a game of runs. The Blue Wave have enough in them. As Kaylee Harden is back in the game after her injury, which looked pretty serious a little while ago. Harden's looking to go all the way. Dolce goes back in net. New Canaan continues to violently swing it around the perimeter, and an unforced error. Olivia Lockhart nearly lost it, and then Hollis Mulry comes swooping in the back of the end zone to keep it with New Canaan. There's no goalie in net for Darien. They have pulled the goalie, and they're going full swarm.
That is a very bold call by Coach Lisa Lindley to use Dolce as a defender with the bigger stick to potentially try to turn the ball over. But New Canaan now will have a ton of opportunities. Let's see if they try to shoot the ball, maybe put up another goal.
Dolce is still on the field, but she's playing out of the net. I think I saw a yellow card pulled by the ref. As New Canaan will keep possession here. Stella Nolan, the sophomore, with the ball. Nolan moves it over to Kaylee Harden. New Canaan looking to put the dagger on it, but really just looking to keep possession. Kaylee Harden flips it over to Hollis Mulry. Behind the cage, it's Lockhart. 2 minutes. Dylan Patton. Patton, wide open crease. She doesn't take the look. Kaylee Harden with the ball. Gets the screen from Mckenna. Again, there's no goalie in net for Darien. Devin Russell to Nolan. Beautiful passing from New Canaan. Hollis Mulry moving to her left. Patton defended by 17, Ryan Hapgood, whose 2 goals in the second half have kept Darien in this game. But with just 1:15 left, it looks like it's all but over, as Harden will give more time off the clock. Mulry moves inside. The ball poked loose. Darien takes over with 1 minute remaining.
They got to hurry here. Stide's got to come down that wing, potentially even put a shot up herself.
And she is whacked by Olivia Lockhart, and Lockhart will immediately head to the penalty box. Number 11, Olivia Lockhart, and Darien for the remainder of this game looks like they will be man up. So if you're looking for a miracle, there's an opportunity. 2 minutes of man-up time, but only 45 seconds left of regulation. Darien moves inside. The ball poked loose by New Canaan. It will stay with Darien with 37.7 ticks left on the clock.
It's actually not a bad call from New Canaan, being a little bit more aggressive on the defense, getting potentially penalties called, because with 37 seconds left, a penalty's not going to hurt you as much as if there's a couple minutes left.
Sadie Stafford off the free position. She scored the first goal of this game for Darien, and she will not score another. Claire Mahoney denies her.
And that's what's going to take away the game here. She had to score that to make this a close, to make it a chance for Darien.
That she did. And Claire Mahoney, we have not talked much about today because the offense has dominated time of possession for New Canaan, and her defense has been great. But when she needed to close it out, Claire Mahoney was there. Kaylee Harden bounces one up to Patton. Patton gets there. Again, no goalie in net for Darien with 14 seconds left. Patton continuing to drain clock. 6 seconds away. And this game is all but over. For the first time since 1993, the New Canaan Rams are FCIAC champions. And they will not lose to Darien for the 10th time in the championship game. They finished runner-ups to them in 2019. They finished runner-ups to Darien 9 times over the years. Not this year. This is the year for Coach Kristen Woods, who has been here for 15 years. And in the COVID year, it is her year.
I mean, this New Canaan team is arguably one of their best teams they've had in many years. Coach Kristen Woods doing a great job coaching them. I mean, they just outpowered the Blue Wave today. They were the better team here today.
That they were. From start to finish, as we'll bring it back up to the box here, Braden, Schneck, and Chase Pickernell on my wings. Ian Nicholas here in the middle. What an outstanding effort from New Canaan, who was up 7-1 at one point in this game in the second half, Chase. I think we all knew from that point that it would take a heck of an effort from Darien to have a shot. They gave themselves a chance with a couple quick goals, but New Canaan did what they needed to do at the end of the game to close it out. From start to finish, perfection from the Rams.
Yeah, coming into the second half here, New Canaan came out strong. They had 3 penalties on the Darien side of things, and we didn't capitalize on any of them. And then Darien came back, scored 3 straight, and they had the momentum. And then we called that timeout, and New Canaan from there just kept the ball, possessed it well, and that's what led them to this victory today.
That's what did. The final score, 7 New Canaan, 4 Darien. Let's take you through the second half highlights right now from a game that was full of highlights for the Rams. What a great battle, Braden. What a great game.
Yeah, this was a good, hard-fought game by both teams. I mean, what do you expect when it's Darien, New Canaan? Darien, they tried to have some late life there. I believe they outscored the Rams 3-1 in that second half. But just the first half, I mean, you got to go out there and play 50 minutes of solid lacrosse. You can't go out there and just play a second half and expect to win.
Nope. That you cannot. New Canaan dominated the draws. The Harden sisters, primarily Kaylee Harden, dominating with the draw controls. Claire Mahoney making the key saves when she needed to. Darien held to 4 goals, 1 from Sadie Stafford, 1 from Molly McGuckin, 2 from Ryan Hapgood. And Chase, the player of the game for New Canaan, if you don't give it to Kaylee Harden for her work winning possessions, it easily goes to Dylan Patton. 4 goals for her on this game. She's had multiple games this year where she's had 4 goals or more. She is a speeding machine.
She's an all-star, and when it comes to the offensive side of things, she's almost unstoppable. And I guess that's what Cornell likes about her, and that's why she's going to head off there in 2 years. But, wow, what a game from her today, and that's what really led this team to success.
4 goals for Dylan Patton, 3 of them in the first half, 1 from Devin Russell, 1 from Mckenna Harden. Mckenna Harden didn't have a goal. She had an assist, a goal from Hollis Mulry, a goal and 3 assists, 4 points total for Quinn McKiernan. The players getting lined up for the trophy ceremony, which will take place in just a few moments. Once again, the New Canaan Rams have won their first FCIAC title since 1993. In their 14th appearance in the championship game, they nab their 2nd win. Darien and New Canaan, they will start their state tournaments next week. Those games will be played on Tuesday in the first round. Neither of these teams will be playing in the qualifying round due to their great record. New Canaan, the lone undefeated team in Class L, so they will be the 1 seed. Could we see these teams matched up in the state semifinals, Braden? That is the next question.
I mean, I got to assume so. June 8th, mark your calendars. That's when these teams would be scheduled to meet, potentially at a neutral site in the Class L semifinals. It happened last year. They met in the championship. I would not be shocked at all if these teams met again.
That would be a great sight to see. Again, Darien, they flatly had New Canaan's number for years now. But this year, New Canaan beats them at home in their first game of the year off of quarantine. They beat them on the road in overtime. And when the light shined brightest from a gloomy Dunning Field, they got it done again. New Canaan still unbeaten at 18-0. Darien dropping to 14-3. And the MVP of this game, quite obvious, it is Dylan Patton with her 4-goal effort for the Rams' 7 goals. The junior Cornell-bound star is the game's MVP. Want to thank my entire cast and crew for the help here today. Want to thank my producer, Emily Fox. On social media, Parent Tomasco. On replay, Austin Platt. Anav Sahai on camera for us. And for Darien,
Sophie Davey
on our main camera. Braden Shank joining me from DAF Media's crew and from our own NCTV crew, Chase Pickernell. Thank you so much for watching this joint live stream between NCTV 78 and DAF Media. Make sure you like and subscribe to both channels for more lacrosse live streaming action, as we'll have plenty of state tournament coverage for you. Ian Nicholas signing off. I'll see you in the afternoon for the 1 o'clock game if you're staying around, if you're a New Canaan fan. The New Canaan boys lacrosse team plays in a qualifying round Class L game at 1 o'clock up against the Fairfield Ludlow Falcons. So stay tuned for that on our doubleheader. But for now, let's keep the main topic up on the screen. The New Canaan Rams, undefeated and FCIAC champions. On a miserable day from Dunning Field, the Rams, on their home turf, on the quote-unquote neutral site, they get the win. 7-4 your final score. We'll see you soon. The New Canaan Rams are FCIAC champions again.